money them a thief. And them a sell out the beach. Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy Kenyan, we can't buy time. You can't for me again. Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch a line and I resort to crime. You can't for me again. Promise to pick up all the charities and all of the giver. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The hundred the promises done and them not deliver. Cut up the youth and rough and it's going down whatever. Member pool money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them smell. When police don't have market like Satan out of hell go mash up people start and thief when them sell. They gun me. What they treat the market man. They gun me. What them a treat the cat man. They gun me. What they treat the peanut man. They gun me. What them a treat the dirt man. Stibby dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep. And some informer friend we lovely. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV, check it.
Good evening and welcome to Global Television. It is your program, The People's Point of View. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Is either me confused or Dr. Tufton confused, or it could be that me dunce like Nigel, like Everard Warmington, or might even be a scaredy cat like Nigel Clark, but something is not really gelling together when it comes to Dr. Tufton and taking responsibility for blunders after blunders after blunder. It's like you could register blunder against Dr. Tufton. Good night and welcome to everyone. Thank you to my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, everyone on Facebook, YouTube, and on TikTok. Yes, good evening and welcome. Debbie Jarvis TV, Marcia Thomas, Debbie Jarvis, yes. Who else? Tash, good evening. Real Sweet, good evening. Izzy Holder, RJ, Clean Allen, Deb, Willie Dunn, Sharon Bernard, Sonia Johnson from the UK, tapping in. Good night to you. Monica Hawthorne, Sophia Hall, Michelle Lewis Wilson, Canadian Gal, Rosemary Samuels, Carleen Richards, Brenda Elson, Charlotte Reed, Lorna Watson. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Like and share the live, please. If you're on TikTok, keep tapping up the screen and support the program from whatever angle you can and from whatever platform you are watching from. Cousin Myrna, Wagwan. Pika and the government in a wrangle-tangle again. We just say Ralton workers striking, Burger King workers at it as well for the judge. So, I wonder if there's a trend happening here in this good economy we can nyam. People are not still feeling or tasting than Miles and Ramsey, the good nyamming economy that Andrew Holness told the country about. I'm sure the healthcare could tell you, we're certainly not tasting it. Because like one nyam good economy can nyam, you know, bros, Colleen Jones. A nyam, it can nyam, so therefore, and everybody at taste the good economy. what the Prime Minister say can yam. Because certainly Bustamante Children Hospital ain't tasting that good economy we can yam. But God help Jamaica, Ransford McLean. God help us. Because the Prime Minister said good economy can yam. Hmm? Chris Tufton blames system defect, not budgetary issue for ills in healthcare sector. The problem is not money, Chris Tufton said. It is a system defect. Can you explain what that system defect is, Chris Tufton? How much a billion? How much billion Chris Tufton swindled for us? What, 900 billion of it, Chris Tufton? And we're still not short of money, says Chris Tufton. But Chris Tufton still cannot, and his permanent secretary, manage to get the theaters at Bustamante Children's Hospital working. System defect, Chris Tufton said. The person who do it can't do it, and me get somebody else to do it, and me not hear gunfire about it. So Chris Tufton said, not me. Blunder after blunder after blunder without Chris Tufton taking responsibility for the failure in the health service under his watch. Chris Tufton unable to fix the problem that he claimed that the People's National Party create. And we know that the Labour don't confine a sweet and dandy system. Them confine it half, mash up, and them come finish, mash it up more. But isn't it though, Chris Tufton, that if I no money and a system defect cause the problem in our healthcare, doesn't it mean that you're not doing your job then, or the people who you employ or contract to certain services, the whole of them are novice, Chris Tufton, the whole of them useless? Them don't know what them do? Because that's what you're saying, system defect. Or is it then, Chris Tufton, that the system is not being maintained? There's not much investment in the system for them defect, so we end up having system defect. How that come about, Chris? Would you like to explain? How does that come about? If Chris Tufton could explain to us how the system defect come about if money is not our problem. And if Chris Tufton and his team have the experience to continue leading the National Health Service. If this system defect that is running for so long, Chris Tufton, and you cannot get a grip of it, are you competent enough to take care of, to be responsible for our health care, is the question. I'm sure you're all aware of the unfolding debacle at Bustamante Children's Hospital, the country's only children's hospital. And Chris Tufton regularly tell lies, give misinformation, pass the buck of the blame onto anybody else except for Chris Tufton. Remember about the 900 billion? You remember Chris Tufton and Dustin Bryan tell us say the reason why them cannot account or have not account for 8 years of financial appropriation. It's because people retired, people went abroad, and people died, says Dustin Bryan and Chris Tufton. Not me say it. them who said it. And here we are again. Chris Tufton is not even blaming anybody. He's blaming defects in the system. But how did we arrive at the defects within the system, Christopher Tufton, is the question. Because an 11-year-old who should have had a surgery by an American team, and you will hear later on, surgery could not happen because of Chris Tufton useless running of our health care. Let's tap into the video and then we'll come back on the other side.
Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome once again to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com.
Up first this evening, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has sought to clarify the circumstances surrounding the case at the Bustamante Hospital for Children who is in need of surgery for scoliosis.
And the surgery was delayed because of poor conditions at the hospital.
And as Jamaica Maitland reports, although the child has been referred to the University Hospital of the West Indies, there's still no definitive timeline on when she'll receive the corrective procedure.
11-year-old Ajani Parchment will have to bear the discomfort of her scoliosis a while longer before she's able to live a normal childhood. Her surgery was postponed at the Bustamante Hospital for Children because the operating theater is not up to standard. It doesn't have a functioning AC unit, making it too hot for surgeries. But during a press briefing Thursday morning, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the procedure can be facilitated elsewhere.
The University Hospital of the West Indies has consented, based on discussions, and with the lead clinician there, Dr. Carl Bruce, having consulted with his team at make an operating theater available.
The issue is
Dr. Carl Bruce is Dr. Tufton's friend. You know, the doctor will walk and beat off every doctor and give doctors bus slip and black eye. That's the Dr. Carl Bruce. He's referring to the head of surgery at UWI. Dr. Tufton's friend, where him and him got school together. When get a job and have a beat off other staff. But because of Dr. Tufton's friend, nothing can be done about him. Let's continue listening.
the doctors who are part of a mission from the United States leave the island in 24 hours. Fighting back the tears is Dr. Robert Bradley, who heads the team. Sadly, he says it's too late.
They want to make accommodations, make the decision today to do it tomorrow. That's not right. It's not right for the patients.
The health minister declared that Ajani will do her surgery. He wasn't able to say when. It's what worries Ajani's mom. Dr. Bradley and his team performs the surgeries for free. He revealed that the team usually does between 12 and 16 corrective surgeries during their visits. This time, they were only able to do 5.
In regards to my daughter's surgery, I still don't have any clue whether it's going to be done or not.
A visibly upset Dr. Tufton describes it as a perennial problem. The multi-million-dollar high-functioning operating theaters are seemingly not functioning.
I've asked for a draft terms of reference to engage a private entity to coordinate the overall maintenance of the plant of a health facility.
CEO of the hospital, Anthony Wood.
We have 5 operating theaters. Of the 5, 2 are presently 3 works, but one of them have high condensation taking place right now. 2 actually not functional.
One has been out for how long?
Many years.
And that's the other thing.
Dr. Tufton explained that a company was contracted to repair the AC in April. Another company has since been brought in, but the problem remains.
The company that supplies the service has been at it for 5 months without resolution. And then we engage another one who said they can fix it, and in fairness, we're prompt to assess. but now has bureaucratic hurdles based on their own internal arrangements. And now we're stalled again for 6 more weeks.
TVJ News observed the leadership of the Southeast Regional Health Authority speaking with the senior doctors about the issues they're experiencing. We understand that surgeries like Anjone's that require more than 4 hours pose significant risk for infection. The hospital, however, says it reviews and provides treatment on a case-by-case basis. Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
So this is Dr. Tufton passing the buck around and around and around, but not taking any responsibility for failures after failures within the healthcare. Not taking any responsibility at all. Defects that identify from April or beyond is still affecting surgery being done at the nation's children's hospital. Don't you think Dr. Tufton should have resigned, or Andrew should have replaced Dr. Tufton with a capable hands that understand how the healthcare runs? The healthcare cannot run on a PR basis, which Dr. Tufton is. Dr. Tufton is a PR person. Dr. Tufton doesn't understand how to run the healthcare because he doesn't have expertise or knowledge in that area. Is that the only person within the Jamaica Labour Party that is qualified to run the healthcare? Why don't you do a switch over of posts then and put Dr. Chang over health ministry and put Tufton over national security? Because it wouldn't really matter at this point where you put Tufton. Because if you have Tufton run down the healthcare to where it is at the moment, it wouldn't matter where you put him. But Chris Tufton doesn't worth anything on paper over there. Gloria Maris, how are you? Run one less. He doesn't worth what's on paper. Because there's failures after failures, budget after budgetary problem. But still Dr. Tufton is coming to us and telling us that money is not the problem. But we are aware though, Dr. Tufton, that you're a person where you issue out contract without going through procurement and contract that is done formally. Just word of mouth contract and pay out the country's money. Who to say Dr. Tufton is not one of them cowboy there? You get to look after the air condition, or one of your friend or one of your family were contracted to you. Who's to say? Because we've seen during the lockdown era where you just take contract and throw here and there to just about any of your friends, Dr. Tufton. Could it be that this is the same scenario with the air conditioned system at Bustamante Children's Hospital, where Dr. Tufton is just issuing out contract to cowboys, and then nobody not understand what they do, and the work isn't done? Surgeries cannot be done. Children's life are being put at risk because of a failed Dr. Tufton who does not understand his portfolio, and a failed Andrew Holness who cannot position people politically in the cabinet where they would perform best. That's what people do in a cabinet position. Yes, you may choose your friends, but you put them in strategic position where they can perform and where they make sense and where they have understanding and expertise. You don't just take up people put in the cabinet because they are your friends without them having understanding and expertise. The woodshed, Carlos Gray, well, go on, bro. You don't just take up people and put in a position where they don't have any experience, knowledge, or expertise and expect them to perform. That's not how it's worked. The easy joke world. Well, go on. That's not how it works. You mean to say, of all the malfunction in national security and in health care, Andrew Holness don't see the need to do a shuffle in those departments, try to put new ideas there, try to put somebody with experience and expertise there. The American doctor them come and basically cry, go back home. Because they see children are in need of surgery. Them come for do them free, oh. But because of system defects, according to Dr. Tufton, as to what that means, Dr. Tufton would have to write it for a 4-year-old to understand. Because I know some dunce in a Dr. Tufton. I don't know me dunce. So when you talk to me, I write nothing for me read Dr. Tufton. Just like the Kiss Me Ross letter that Nigel wrote in the Gleaner today. You don't have to write for a 4-year-old to understand. You don't know me drop out of basic school, so I don't learn that well. So you can't come with the imsi skimsy and the ism and schism to confuse me. You don't do it. You know so I not go learn well them way there. You have to line by line and give examples. You can't just have fool me so. So when you say system defect and a money our problem, and a money our problem, tell them say no. So Dr. Tufton, it means that you are the system defect because you and your entire team, Dr. Tufton, cannot even get the right person to do the right job. Who make the air condition, Dr. Tufton? All right, maybe Dr. Tufton I go say we have to go get a foreign expertise like I've been ill and Andrew. I get Christopher Columbus children them from Spain to come rebrand Jamaica international image. Jamaica mash up. If Christopher Columbus have to return to rebrand the image of Jamaica, why do you think Jamaica don't mash up? Look pan we health care where we asleep and dot. Dr. Tufton says system defect. What system defect, Dr. Tufton? What you do? A half good air condition you buy from your friend them outer road put in a Bustamante. All right then, Dr. Tufton. If I don't money are the problem, ditch the old backgrounds, doctor, and buy a whole new set. I know money are your problem, doc. I know money are the problem, you know. So if money are not the problem, dash where the old bagger. Stop spend money upon the old bagger and buy a whole brand new set. What's the problem? I know money are a problem, doctor. If money are not a problem, then we are waste time on the old sinting for. You have enough budget to work with, Dr. Tufton. Even after you squander 900 billion, doctor. Even after 8 dead baby with dog a walk up and down with baby bone in them mouth, doctor. Even after the bad rice where you're carrying at the country and your son, the poison way off, doctor. You know, short of money. So why you have with children them a suffer if you're not short of money? If you can't get the old sinting fixed by one new sinting. Dr. Tufton, if you have a washing machine in your house and it broke down and you can't get the old washing machine fixed, you're not going to get up every day, Dr. Tufton, and waste money upon the old washing machine or the old fridge, Dr. Tufton. You're going to buy a new one, isn't it? So why waste money on the old sinting will continue to cause the system defect? Wouldn't it be more prudent, Dr. Tufton? Remember, say, you practice fiscal prudence and you still walk and give a fiscal prudence for you know. Remember, say, Oh no, I give with fiscal prudence. Finiam. You understand? So why walk and waste money per nonsense when you don't understand fiscal prudence? And anybody will understand fiscal prudence and repairs versus new thing, no say, don't attempt to repair old stuff, because the parts them where you go buy, if you repair the old stuff, you might as well buy a new one and done. You no learn that yet, Dr. Tufton? From the time you walk up and down and arrest drugs dealer upon beach, Dr. Tufton, in a White House, you no learn nothing. You mean you just turn up so? You just turn up like a shell, Dr. Tufton, and you're leaving like a cracked shell, Dr. Tufton. Like Nigel in him Kiss Me Ross letter today, want to tell us that I was only trying to shut Everett Warmington up because it looks so embarrassing. Nigel, what was that? Hmm? And this government keep running around and tell us how good the economy is, how good they are doing. Education and healthcare tell you how good the economy is doing, Andrew Holness. Don't fool yourself, because we are not fools. I mean, look at us. Stop fooling yourself. Good economy is centered around your education and your healthcare. Healthy people, an educated workforce, that produce good economy and wholeness. So if the very children of our society cannot get the proper health care and wholeness, if mothers in maternity ward and wholeness and Christopher Tufton doesn't have adequate or suitable bathroom, we don't have suitable beds to lie on in hospital. We don't have adequate X-ray, MRI, CT, dialysis. Isn't that a massive failure? Just for one department? Just for one minister? The American doctor denounced Jamaica's health care. They call it a crying shame. In 21st century, in the superpower of the Caribbean economy, Jamaica, in the best, as they call it, or economy has ever been, Jamaica. And you mean to say we can't get with children hospital up and running? Does it make sense to run around with the fluff and the blunders and no say nothing no gusto? For those of you who may not have seen the video, we're going to play it again, and then I'll speak to Wholeness, Tufton, and how they can ask the Chinese for help.
Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome once again to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com.
Up first this evening, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has sought to clarify the circumstances surrounding the case at the Bustamante Hospital for Children who is in need of surgery for scoliosis.
The surgery was delayed because of poor conditions at the hospital.
And as Jamila Maitland reports, although the child has been referred to the University Hospital of the West Indies, there's still no definitive timeline on when she'll receive the corrective procedure.
11-year-old Anjani Parchment will have to bear the discomfort of her scoliosis a while longer before she's able to live a normal childhood. Her surgery was postponed at the Bustamante Hospital for Children because the operating theater is not up to standard. It doesn't have a functioning AC unit, making it too hot for surgeries. But during a press briefing Thursday morning, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the procedure can be facilitated elsewhere.
The University Hospital of the West Indies has consented, based on discussions and with the lead clinician there, Dr. Carl Bruce, having consulted with his team at UWIC to make an operating theatre available.
The issue is the doctors who are part of a mission from the United States leave the island in 24 hours. Fighting back the tears is Dr. Robert Bradley, who heads the team. Sadly, he says it's too late.
They want to make accommodations, make the decision today to do it tomorrow. That's not right. It's not right for the patients.
The health minister declared that Ajani will do her surgery. He wasn't able to say when. It's what worries Ajani's mom. Dr. Bradley and his team performs the surgeries for free. He revealed that the team usually does between 12 and 16 corrective surgeries during their visits. This time, they were only able to do 5.
In regards to my daughter's surgery, I still don't have any clue whether it's going to be.
So because of Christofton's failure, you notice even the amount of surgery they normal do when they come into the country, they couldn't even manage to do that because of Christofton's so-called system defect. Tufton can admit say he has not been hands-on the job. His ministry has not been hands-on the job. Me disagree with you, Carlos, so them figure back the money. Them fi make we chop off them big finger. And them big finger are my problem, Carlos. And the big finger are my problem.
Done or not.
A visibly upset Dr. Tufton.
Visibly upset what?
Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome once again to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com.
Up first this evening, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has sought to clarify the circumstances surrounding the case at the Bustamante Hospital for Children who is in need of surgery for scoliosis.
Now, the surgery was delayed because of poor conditions at the hospital.
And as Jamaica Maitland reports, although the child has been referred to the University Hospital of the West Indies, there's still no definitive timeline on when she'll receive the corrective procedure.
11-year-old Anjani Parchment will have to bear the discomfort of her scoliosis a while longer before she's able to live a normal childhood. Her surgery was postponed at the Bustamante Hospital for Children because the operating theater is not up to standard. It doesn't have a functioning AC unit, making it too hot for surgeries. But during a press briefing Thursday morning, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the procedure can be facilitated elsewhere.
The University Hospital of the West Indies has consented, based on discussions and with the lead clinician there, Dr. Carl Bruce, having consulted with his team at UWIC to make an operating theatre available.
The issue is the doctors who are part of a mission from the United States leave the island in 24 hours. Fighting back the tears is Dr. Robert Bradley, who heads the team. Sadly, he says it's too late.
They want to make accommodations, make the decision today to do it tomorrow. That's not right. It's not right for the patients.
The health minister declared that Ajani will do her surgery. He wasn't able to say when. It's what worries Ajani's mom. Dr. Bradley and his team performs the surgeries for free. He revealed that the team usually does between 12 and 16 corrective surgeries during their visits. This time, they were only able to do 5.
In regards to my daughter's surgery, I still don't have any clue whether it's going to be done or not.
A visibly upset Dr. Tufton describes it as a perennial problem. The multi-million-dollar high-functioning operating theaters are seemingly not functioning.
I've asked for a draft terms of reference to engage a private entity to coordinate the overall maintenance of the plant of a health facility.
CEO of the hospital, Anthony Wood.
We have 5 operating theaters. Of the 5, 2 are presently 3 works, but one of them have high condensation.
Hold on, my people. My system froze a bit. I don't know if you can hear me on YouTube and Facebook. My system has frozen. Bear with. Bear with. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me know in the chat. It has knocked me out of the studio, has it? No.
2 actually not functioning.
One has been out for how long?
Many years.
And that's the
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Tufton explained that a
I'm
company
sorted
was
back
contracted
now.
to repair the AC in April. Another company has since been brought in, but the problem remains.
The company that supplies the service has been at it for 5 months without resolution. And then we engage another one who said they can fix it, and in fairness, were prompt to assess, but now has bureaucratic hurdles based on their own internal arrangements. And now we're stalled again for 6 more weeks.
TVJ News observed the leadership of the Southeast Regional Health Authority speaking with the senior doctors about the issues they're experiencing. We understand that surgeries like angionas that require more than 4 hours pose significant risk for infection. The hospital, however, says it reviews and provides treatment on a case-by-case basis. Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
Yes, Dr. Tufton said a this and a that and a all sort. Beat and teach what going you just come. And I don't know what Dr. Tufton mean. I'm not going to have to help with decide what Dr. Tufton mean. Because the US doctor them left and a cry said that Jamaica have a poor healthcare infrastructure. Not even the amount of surgery that they usually do when them come into the country, them couldn't even get fit to that amount this time because it has been failure after failure after failure. Dr. Tufton said the money is the air condition issue at Bustamante Children's Hospital is not a money issue. Then it is a management issue. Then Dr. Tufton, you can't blame system. You can't come blame system defect. How system defect get there if the system has been maintained, Dr. Tufton? Or if you get to somebody now and then can't fix the air condition system, I don't understand how to fix it. I don't know what to do. Why then, Dr. Tufton, you don't dash for the old thing wanna keep spending more money pan and just buy a new set so the children them can have them operation, Dr. Tufton? You have 5 theater you claim over Bustamante. But that's not the only problem over Bustamante, my people. Even operating tools in the theater is not so handsome. Even in the mortuary as well, them have a sharpen knife in the mortuary for use because them don't have the appropriate tool up a Bustamante. It's a whole heap of nonsense going on at Bustamante Children's Hospital to the living and to the dead. And a little slackness a go on up a Bustamante. If Christopton say he have money, why Christopton not buy new air condition and dash with the whole thing them and spend no Monica 5 day there and a 2.5 a work because 2 a work 1 a work but it not function so well because the air condition not brilliant, it's very hot, and 2 completely out of function. So 2.5 a work and 2.5 now work. And Dr. Tufton say, although money are the problem, and Dr. Tufton have the children, them must suffer. What kind of government is this? What kind of government is this? Why you don't ask China for help? Ask China for help because I've been looking after international students for years. So anyway in the world I want to get comparative information, I can ask. And I want to show you how ambulance look equipped and ready to work in China. And China and the BRICS care about the development of the global south. Why you can't ask China for help in this area? Look at ambulance service in China and their response. I was told that the ambulance to this call turn up in less than 10 minutes for an elderly lady who was feeling ill on the roadside. China has come very far, but because there's dedicated leader who want to uplift the country and the people, they never just steal the money and pocket it and run off with it. Whichever leader which has been leading China over the last 30, 40 years, they make sure that country is being developed and people has been lifted out of poverty. China care about the global south. It's just about our crooked leaders. When they make cut deal with China, them don't cut deal within our interests. But ask China for help. I'm sure if Jamaica asks China for help with the healthcare crisis that we're undergoing, we could get some help from China with emergency care and emergency vehicles. We can't make the US doctor them left, come to help the children and return and call it a mission impossible. And then we are in such a good economy where we can just dish out good economic management pan table, and we can just sit down and we can have a feast on good economic management, and we can knock with chest and we can belch when we're done. Nyam, good economic management. Isn't this jackassism? When the Prime Minister keep turning up on camera every day telling us the nonsense them, and think at one time when people never observe our people not have sense and think anybody believe Andrew Holness and the jackassism them when Andrew Holness get up and talk about every day. Like we're not listening, like we don't have sense, like we don't understand when Andrew take liberty away. Them denounce the condition Dr. Brady denounced the condition of Jamaica health infrastructure. It's a crying shame. It's a disgrace. It's a disaster. I wonder if America is going to turn up its, what's you might call it again, travel advice based on what Dr. Brady them have to return and say, we can't deal with this situation. I don't know how Jamaicans cope with it because it's quite a dire situation. Quite a dire situation. But let's get into a bit of Kismirasism now, because Nigel Clark today wrote a letter to the Gleaner suggesting quite a bit of kiss me this and kiss me that. And I'm not going to read all of it for you, but I'm going to fumble and flutter my way through Nigel Clark's fumble. Dear editor, madam, I'm writing with reference to my response to Member of Parliament of South St. Catherine, Everett Warmington, during the 15th of October meeting of the Standards Finance Committee. I would like to highlight that the objective of the meeting was to consider the first supplementary estimate of the fiscal year 2024-2025. These were very challenging to prepare given the significance, growth and fiscal shock delivered by Hurricane Beryl and other events. Can't call that word. Tie up my tongue. I had to be prepared to explain all the related details. I was therefore focused on the preoccupied by this objective. Nigel Clark is saying, my brain, Madam Editor, is not that quite ambidextrous. I cannot deal with two issues at the same time, and Everett Warmington chatterer was confusing me. Hence, in context, I did not focus on providing a comprehensive response to Mr. Warmington's statement at that time. However, I had earlier in the disclosure indicated that the Integrity Commission is audited by a private and independent auditor, as opposed to the Auditor General's department. Many agencies and public bodies are similarly audited by a private audit firm. That was reported in the media. Unfortunately, was unfortunately devoid of the context, and only my latest sentence was quoted. I could have been earlier, and I have certainly could have been more explicit. You see, this is the way they write in a twisted tongue to confuse you, not to get the quite well understanding of what they're trying to say. Or when they cannot come out and say the truth to you, they go in a world twirl of use of word in order to distort and confuse you. I accept that. The fact that I wasn't has led, I don't understand here, so read slow like Fable Wayne. The fact that I was not has led to unfortunate interpretation of my remarks. I own that too. I don't understand the first sentence, the second sentence. The fact that I wasn't. No, as in yes, when say has, it meant to be as. The fact that I wasn't has led to unfortunate as, not has. sorry, that him have has the, but it should have been as. That confused me. Okay, so that kind of cleared that sentence up. Mr. Warmington question came 50 minutes after starting my presentation and went against the flow. We were not yet halfway through dealing with the real purpose of the meeting, and I was therefore very eager to move on. Further, I formed the view that the issue relating to the IC audit were more relevant for the meeting of the Oversight Committee, which took place earlier that same day, and my first response to him communicated that I was very hesitant to speak in definitive term about what the IC had or had not procured, as I felt that could have been overstepping. Oh, Jesus. You felt you could have been overstepping. My last sentence, which achieved my aim of ending the exchange with Mr. Warmington. So basically, he's saying to you here, Mr. Warmington was chatting too much. I just have to fuddle Mr. Warmington off and say, got on with it. My sentence, which achieved my aim of ending the exchange with Mr. Warmington, so the meeting could return to addressing substantive matter as being a point of focus. In an effort to move on, I have agreed with the general principle that the tabling, examine of audit report have been done is reasonable where taxpayers' funds are expended. Now, if you remember the conversation, Nigel Clark, when Edward Warmington said, not a dime should be given to them until they're presented with an audit. Nigel Clark response to him was, that's reasonable. I don't think nobody would argue against that. And so I concluded that, and that should not be a difficult proposition. In reference to the member stated expectation, I have all of the audits by next year, assuming that they needed to be done, revisit following the initial tabling. In my mind, it was not a difficult proposition precisely because the audits existed. Everett Warmington, Nigel Clark is saying those audits you're calling for, Everard, they already exist. All you have to do is go and read them. All right? So that clear up your confusion there, Sir Everard Warmington. But Nigel himself is rather confused of what he's trying to tell us. This was a stubble and implicit response to the question where the relevant fact was suggesting or implying from my remark rather than explicitly stated my aim of de-escalation that would allow the meeting to move on came at a cost of misunderstanding of meaning and intent. Okay, what Dr. Clark is saying here, because he was trying to shut down Everett Warmington to get on to what he was talking about and to de-escalate the rant that Everett Warmington was going on about with the Integrity Commission. His answer to Everett Warmington was misunderstood by us because that's not what he intended or what he means is what Dr. Clark is saying. Hey, Dr. Clark. No, sir. And we done slide them. When we're done, we come over and I come look on and say, I'm taking the time to write because it is important for the finance and accounting staff at the IC and the auditors who work hard to support the completion of financial audits on a timely basis and who take pride in what they do, to know that parliamentarians, including me, value their work. With this clarity and with my knowledge, with my acknowledgement that I should have been more explicit in pointing out again that the audit report had already been done. Everard Warmington. You see that? Nigel Clark said, the audit them were called for has already been done. Okay? So don't let us hear you asking for them again, because Nigel said they have been done. I do not intend to be seized any further by this issue. Nigel Clark is saying, me no want to use this issue over my head any longer, because me a move on and me a move on with grace, and me want to go my way in peace, and me want to go my way in a clean spirit and a clean record. So me a clear the air before me go. So una don't badger me, so me go on never clear up the issue. But what about SSL and other things and the tax administration and the money them we are pay for the double building and them things in Nigeria? Don't you think we would have want some little clarity on that too? I don't intend to be seized any further by this issue, especially since I'm trying to close out on a number of pressing matter before I demit office. Dr. Nigel, the Honorable Clark, Minister of Finance and Public Services. So that is Nigel Clark's explanation to clear up Everard Warmington confusion, 1, and 2, to clear up to the public that he did not agree with Everard. He was just trying to shut down Everard because Everard was going on too dunce and bitchy. Everard, you can't answer Nigel before him go. Me want a war. Hot party, hot party. Hot party over Labour, hot party. Everard Warmington, you know, see Nigel come out, come dash cold water in your face. So because Mama lash him out, they just a plunder, flatter go so. Me just want shut up Mama lashy and the big boat and the cow tongue and the back of cow tongue. That's why me give one of that sharp answer there, but me never mean it. The sole intention, wanna miss my intention and what me did mean. My sole intention was to shut up Mother Lashy. But one thing to say, I agree, media agree with Mama Lashy, but two Mama Lashy jaws big and a drop off, and you know say, he not go shut up until you agree with him. Me have to agree with him just to shut him up. And then now it looks like I say me agree with him. But I never that me really mean. Me only do it to shut him up, says Nigel Clark. Nigel, I mean, a big old dashing face like you, and that's all you couldn't tell me. When you don't use it for hang me, me just do it for shut up Mama Lashy, because I know how Mama Lashy tongue big like behind cow. Like seriously, Nigel? Seriously, Nigel. And you mean to say if we put in our pocket, walk around with it, and when we say good economic management, we take that and we buy good economic management? Like seriously, Nigel? I mean, you think bad of we, Nigel. You can't. You can't be real, Nigel. A joke can make with we. Dr. Tufton, I don't know what you mean. When Dr. Tufton talk, anybody know what this mean? Jamaica moved to adopt one health approach. Anybody know what that mean? I don't know, Ask, anyone else see Dr. Tufton? Well, Karen Wagwan, Norman Wagwan, Durant Clark. Anybody see Dr. Tufton, we can tap him on his shoulder and ask him what this mean? When Dr. Tufton talking, it come like a merry-go-round me depend. You know, so when you're upon a merry-go-round, you turn deaf and you turn dizzy once the merry-go-round spin. Every time Dr. Tufton talk, me end up on a merry-go-round. So that means that by the time me come off of the merry-go-round, I don't remember a thing what Dr. Tufton said. No, I don't understand what Dr. Tufton mean by coming. No. I really do not understand when Dr. Tufton make up the same thing them and come out like how Dr. Tufton come tell us a system defect. Cause the doctor them fi come from America fi do the surgery at Bustamante and cry go back home because a system defect. Tufton confused me when Tufton talk, If you want to me confused and feel like me dey on merry-go-round, just make Tufton up in him mouth. Because Tufton and David Cameron, we have to go research if them are family because their mouth wet and giant, wet and jib like for baby. And water just a drop out of it when them attack so and a be like Chris Tufton and David Cameron tell. I wonder if they're related. I'm confused when Chris Tufton talk. Because if Chris Tufton cannot get 5 theater right, Chris Tufton, talk truth now. If you can't get 5 theater right, how if it trust you about the one healthcare? What does that mean anyway, Dr. Tufton? Just like we don't know what system, you need to give definition to them something here when you speak like the system defect and the one healthcare approach. You need to give definition or explanation what you mean when you talk them something here. Because when you're just talking and left it so, it confused me. Just like how you just sit down and a flatter and I talk about the repairman them, the repairman them. Did you contracted qualify repairman? Christoph Dan, can you say that? Can you say, Christoph Dan, if you contracted qualify care workers all in Foster? How you do? This man is such a failure. But Jamaica may need to look towards BRICS because BRICS are developed. Africa are about to run a BRICS because the BRICS summit in Russia present a game changer where it's going to challenge the American hegemon. And a challenge to the American hegemon, especially the American dollar. The useless American dollar will drop out a mango tree, drop a dot and bust. Biden, don't take this lightly, is mad crazy and ready for war. Because disabling Russia and China is the only way to cripple BRICS. So Biden is going to beef up the problem with China in the South Sea, and they're going to throw more money into Ukraine. The world is at war. You see this new BRICS payment system that's been announced and the new BRICS payment card is a real game changer to the US dollar. And these things in the American and the Western hegemon mindset is an act of war because it's seen to America as an act of war against a unipolar world controlled by the American hegemon. But no, China and Russia have quite very much different thinking on this. It is time for the global south to develop. Hence, you see, China is investing so much money into the global south and developing railways and roadways and assisting with hospitals and all sorts of whatever, because China think that there ought to be many power players in this world, not just a blood drinking, missile throwing, oil drinking, backside yamming America. No, not only America should run this world because they have not done well in running it, because they have fought wars and thrown missiles and guns and bullets all over. And they have sucked the blood of men, women, and children innocently. America is seeing her dying days, the dying empire of America, a multipolar world emerging with a new system, a system that topples the American economy and the American financial system. What a wahala to come. Let us keep our ears to the ground and our eyes focused, because shit on this planet could go down. Thank you for being here with us this evening on the Global Television Group. It is good to have you here as always. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy and be restful and be grateful of what you have. Make sure, if you cannot be good, be very careful. We might run out on the weekend if anything is going on in the news that we need to bring forth to you or to discuss. But otherwise, we always like to take our weekend breaks. So thank you very much for being a great support to the Global Television Group. Continue to support us by liking and sharing the program. Thank you all very much, and good night from Global Television on all our platforms. Thank you very much. We will see you, if not on the weekend, on Monday morning. Thank you very much and good night.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who was openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commissioner of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution, and that Minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the Minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us. Our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agree that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.